What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Shaun Meighan, and joining me as always is love of my life, Conor Lawler.
Fucking hell. You know you're meant to play it cool.
What? No, come on strong is what I say.
Really bomb them with love, and then they have to love you back.
Love bombing, that's a nice term. I should look into that.
So Shaun, this is Hero Zero. This is the show where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. I normally talk DC characters, you normally talk Marvel characters. Obviously one is better than the other. It's up to the listeners to decide on either whatever comic book company you prefer, or maybe even the reports and personal attacks on each other. One of us, if maybe you like one of us more, that's fine as well.
It's the show in general, though, as everyone has their favourites.
Fuck. He said that, right? And then he had the smuggest fucking grin on his face.
You can't see
and then
me.
He did an eyebrow thing that only a dickhead would do.
Look, Conor, some of us won the award at Christmas time, so...
It's like, yeah, no, look, I'm sure you tried really hard, but like, some of us are just better at this than others. It's fine.
What if I was like that? That would be awful. That would be terrible for the show.
What do you mean, what if?
What? No. What if people left 5 stars on this show on Spotify?
Oh, very good, Shaun. Yes, get us back on track. So, this is, we're currently running a thing. 150 5-star reviews on Spotify before the summer solstice. Don't ask why we chose that. That's just a thing. The rule is, it's kind of a hostage situation that we keep talking about until it gets to there. So if it finishes by April, you guys are free. You're free to go home.
The ball is entirely in your court here to stop hearing about the summer solstice. It's really your fault that we're talking about it.
Bit of reverse psychology there. We also have a Patreon. You can head on over there. We've recently reviewed Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. So every single month, the patrons get to choose what movie we review, and we have to review it legally. Otherwise, I don't know, they just beat us up or something. I'm not quite sure. They're normally quite nice, but I'm sure one of them's a wrong'un. Don't know which one. It's up to you to decide.
There's one person that can send a swarm of bees after either of us at any time.
So, Shaun, it is your week. It is your report. I'm excited to know who you've done. I'm also assuming it's probably not going to be as good as my report last week, but look, we can't have everything.
Conor, for €500 right now, who did you cover last week?
You know I don't remember things.
We also did
Major
a bunch
disaster.
of Major disaster. Yes. There we go.
€500.
No, you didn't know it though, did you?
I did. Okay, so it has to be better than Major Disaster.
Well, I've been on a bit of a Fantastic Four kick since recording Rise of the Silver Surfer, the review, the episode on the Patreon.
Okay, stop.
But also, this character came up in the Q&A during the week. And it's the last character I need before I can properly cover Secret Wars. So today I'm talking about the second child of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman, Valeria Richards, Conor.
Right. So if anyone doesn't know, they have 2 children, I think.
Yeah, 2.
So they got Franklin and Valeria. So Franklin is basically God, can create universes, can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I'm assuming another god? Are we looking at a second god?
In a sense. So we'll get into it. Also, bears mentioning, Franklin is a god until the writers decide that he can't be.
Until he's a little boy.
Until he's a little baby boy, a little bitch boy,
of course.
if you will.
Until they write themselves into a corner, and then the answer is, why don't they just get the kid to rewrite history?
Yeah, why don't we just use the human eraser? So Valeria Richards, second child of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman, had a difficult entry into the world. So she was conceived in the negative zone, which is different...
I'd say Reid felt fairly fucking positive about it, though, at the same time.
I'd say so. I'd say for all the 2.5 minutes, he was the most positive man in the world. So it's like this zone in between realities in Marvel Comics. And there's a bunch of like weird creatures that live there, but there's also time doesn't exist and stuff like that. And so between the combination of being conceived in that environment and also the radiation that exists in both of her parents, because they were hit by cosmic rays.
Oh, they're super radiated. Oh, yeah. Lad, they're fucking green, basically.
It's wild that they're just walking around, you know?
They can't be you can't be making other humans with that much radiation in you.
No, this is the thing. And so, as, like, Valeria developed in the womb, she began to emit literal bursts of radiation.
Oh, fuck. Okay, right.
Because her body, like, because her mother is, like, radioactive. And then the, like, egg is radioactive. And it's this whole sequence of events.
It's very similar to that time that Spider-Man gave Mary Jane cancer because his sperm was radioactive.
Yeah, just fucking too much, you know?
Not great.
And so Reid is bringing in everyone at this point. He brings in radiation experts, Bruce Banner, Doc Samson, Otto Octavius, Michael Morbius is also there.
Oh Lord, Jared's here.
You know he's desperate when you're bringing in Jared.
You don't want to ring Jared.
However, Reid was unable to save his daughter, who appeared to be in grave danger. Now, Reed Richards' known bastard.
Look, we give Reid a tough time here on the show, only because one of our favourite things is Reid just being a dickhead, because he's the leader of the family and it's meant to be like this family environment that they all love each other, but Reid is just really funny when he's just a dickhead.
Yeah, no, and he's not equipped really to run a family. Like
he doesn't have any emotional intelligence.
But you know who is quite emotional about his family is the Human Torch.
Oh, okay.
So this would be Valeria's uncle, technically and literally. He was like, okay, there's one person that hasn't been asked, and Reid will never ask this person for help. So Human Torch flies over to Doctor Doom and is like, please just do something, because we can't lose this kid.
I suppose, once again, I just have to really quickly raise the point. They could just ask Franklin to rewrite her DNA or some shit, couldn't they? Just like...
Could, yeah. At this point, I think he's depowered. I think.
Oh, right, sorry, yeah. They were like, oh, yeah, he can't do that, sorry. Yeah,
no, I think they depowered him in preparation for this story.
He was off making a different universe on the side.
Yeah, he was making Ultimate Spider-Man at the time.
Yeah, he was busy.
So Doom successfully used a combination of science and sorcery to safely deliver the child, and in return, he was allowed to name her.
Oh, okay.
He chose Valeria after his childhood love, like the first woman he ever loved. Which again,
I love it. I love Shithouse Doom.
It's Shithouse Doom, and it's like it's Doom's weird code of respect and honor. Like,
and also Doom has that over Reid forever that he can just be a shithouse, and he's like, well, you can't beat me up. I delivered your child.
This is the thing, and also Connor, he's still Doom, as you correctly pointed out. So, holding the newborn in his arms, he took the opportunity to weave an enchantment, enabling him to see through Valeria's eyes and use her as a focus for spellcasting.
That's the Doom we know and love. He's like looking at the pure innocence of a child, and he's just like, how can I use this for shithousery? How can I use this being that I have created for my own evil deeds and maybe, I don't know, to fuck up Reid Richards' day?
Yeah. How can I use this to hurt Reid?
Yeah.
So, a few months later, he sacrificed his original love from childhood, Valeria, found her, sacrificed her in order to gain greater magical abilities.
That's the Doom we know and love, yes.
He then launches an assault on the Fantastic Four. Franklin Richards is literally sent to hell. And then
Do they have to keep, when I think of Franklin, I always think of the X-Men movies with, like, Professor X, where they have to keep Professor Xing him because he will break the game.
He has to be written out of every scenario, yeah.
Because otherwise the plot makes no sense. Because, like,
otherwise you have God
in X-Men movies, like, Professor X could just look at the bad guy and just be like, you don't want to be evil anymore. And then it would just stop. But that's not fun.
No, that's what always happens. And then after Franklin is sent to hell, Valeria says her first word, which is doom.
Is she saying doom or doom?
I was saying doom. So
maybe she was saying her favourite movie, Dune.
Dune 2, perhaps.
Dune 2.
So what happened then is Dr. Doom starts taunting the Fantastic Four, speaking through Valeria.
Of course he does. I mean, this is amazing. I'm loving it.
And so the Fantastic Four decide this is bullshit and they fly to Latveria to fight him. He easily beats all of them, teleporting Valeria into his arms.
So now he's holding the baby and has her dad in a headlock in his other arm.
Pretty much. And they're like, they can't attack him because he's holding their child.
He's giving Reed a nuggie when he's still holding her.
So they leave for a while. Valeria stays in Latveria with Doctor Doom until Reed goes to Doctor Strange and is like, I just need magic. I need magic to get my daughter back. This is so fucked. In
my head, I just see him going to Strange. He's like, give me a magic bazooka.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a magic. Give me a fucking magic bazooka. I need to kill the fucker. I need him dead.
And so it ends up in this kind of a trade where they retake Valeria and then they trade Doom for Franklin in hell, leaving Doom seemingly trapped in hell and his link to Valeria broken.
So now all is well. Now we're grand. Maybe Valeria liked it more with Doom.
That might be a trend coming up.
Yeah, I just think he's more crack. He's like the fun uncle that just doesn't fuck. Like you just get to have a bit of crack with him.
The next thing is one of my favourite just little bits in Marvel Comics. So, because of the numerous villain attacks on the Baxter building, child welfare gets called in. And they're like, should Franklin and Valeria really be here? Like, is this a good idea?
No. And in the meeting, they're like, Sue, you're grand. But to be fair, we have heard Reed, you are known as known bastard Reed Richards. And I feel like that's going to hurt you.
It's like if we had to pin it on someone, it's probably you.
Sue's like feeding an orphan up to the side. Well, it's not her. It's definitely you.
So Reed and Sue decide to give up their children to welfare. However, a condition was that a dummy safe house had to be set up and a press release was released announcing that the children had already been moved. That safe house was then reduced to a crater along with everything in a half-mile radius. So they're like, oh, okay, I guess they can stay in the Baxter building. They're safer there where you can protect them. But the theory goes is that Reed Richards carried out the attack himself in order to allow him and Sue to keep the kids.
Why Reed and Doom are so funny is they're the same person. Like, they're just the same person, but they hate each other. And it's just so funny that, like, two of the smartest people on the planet are just the pettiest little bitches when it just comes to each other. They're like, well, I can't let him have fun. I'm going to prove him wrong.
And Reed has some semblance of emotion, too. Or empathy. Whereas Doom is just like, no, if I'm alone, I know all the right things to do.
He bombed his own child's house.
Yeah. Just so he could stay in the Baxter building. It's such a Reed Richards move.
Doom's looking up from hell like, that's fucked up, bro. That's some fucked up shit.
But Doom, I imagine him like arms crossed nodding of like, no, that's the move.
I would have done the same. I actually probably would have bombed them sooner.
So a few months after the Civil War in Marvel Comics, where superheroes had to register and stuff, Valeria's intelligence took a massive leap, increasing to a level that in time would match her father's. She decided to keep her new abilities a secret, feeling that the dynamic of her family would be changed for the worst. So she's like, if I'm as smart as my dad, that's a weird thing to throw into the Fantastic
I also don't think
Four.
Reed would like that.
No, he's not thrilled. He comes around, I will say.
Okay.
She was helped to embrace her new nature by her nanny, a woman named Tabitha the Nuve, who was secretly a future version of the Invisible Woman. Doesn't
Comics
matter.
are funny.
Comics are funny. I always need to throw in one insignificant weird
There's got to
detail.
just be a little tidbit that, like, they're just a future version of somebody else. They're the essence of these other three people. Don't worry about it. It's a different story.
Because, like, if you're not too experienced with comics, what that means is, originally in the story, it was her nanny.
Yeah, just made up.
And then 2 years down the line, another writer said, oh, that was actually the Invisible Woman the whole time.
Because there's a different plot line, and then they needed some way to get the future Invisible Woman into the past.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So Valeria ultimately came clean to her family and even started working with her father in his lab. So then an event called Dark Reign happens, and this is where, after Civil War, Norman Osborn basically takes control. Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, bad dude, takes control of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he's now in charge of, like, national security and things like that. So Franklin and Valeria find themselves under siege by Norman Osborn, Venom, and a high number of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. The adults, I was going to say the grown-ups of the Fantastic Four, they were off doing an experiment, and so they were all in another reality at the time.
You know how it is.
The kids. Valeria managed to separate Osborn from the rest of the agents using a bureaucratic technicality and by having them underestimate her. So she tricks Norman Osborn, because she's like, you'll violate this law, and then you can be impeached, and then you'll be liable for every other crime you've ever committed.
Oh, okay.
So she doesn't, like, punch him to death. She's just like, no, I can just ruin your life.
And and to be honest with you, that ruins Norman's day.
Yes, 100%. Especially because...
who's a bigger shithouse? Norman or Doom?
Doom is a way bigger shithouse. Norman is a hater. He's a professional hater.
Norman's evil. He's an evil hater.
No, yeah, Norman is the Joker for all intents and purposes.
Like, Doom is just a shithouse. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. So Norman's day gets a lot worse because he's led into a room where he faces Franklin, who is wearing a Spider-Man mask, and calls him a big villain. Osborn then chases the children down a hall, getting ready to shoot them. He is then shot by Franklin Richards.
Oh.
Everyone is shocked, however, because Franklin is holding a toy gun. So this is where Franklin gets his reality-making powers back.
Yeah, remember what I said Franklin was God? Do you remember at the start of this, everybody? Just, we're all going to settle in here. Franklin can just do things. Now, it's fine.
Yeah, like they just decide, the story needs him to be a god again, so they make him a god again.
He could just turn all of Norman's insides into water and just solve the whole problem.
Oh, yeah. 100%. He could will bad things to not exist, but Franklin likes superheroes.
He could literally look at Norman and say, "You never existed," and then Norman would never exist.
Yeah, exactly. And all of the bad things he did would never have happened. So there was then there was an incursion not an incursion, that's the wrong word to use. There was an assault planned called the War of the Four Cities. And she was warned of this by Franklin from the future, who travelled back in time to warn her. Don't worry about it. And Franklin tells her all hope lies in Doom. So, realising the threat and making the connection to what her brother warned her of, Valeria secretly went to get Dr. Doom's assistance in stopping this oncoming war, only to find him in a state of brain damage after the World War Hulk storyline, where we talked about this in our Christoph Bernard report a couple of weeks ago.
He becomes, not smart enough.
He's not the smartest person in the world anymore, so he is cognizant enough to know this and steps back and hands off the throne of Latveria.
Right.
And she made a deal with Doom that if he helps her save her father, she would help to restore his intelligence.
Oh. Okay.
And so they do that. They rescue Reed from the other universe that he's trapped in. And Valeria, in comic terms, clicks her fingers and Doom is fine again.
Great stuff.
Yeah. It's around this time Reed sets up the Future Foundation, where he brings in a load of young people who have smarts and powers and talent and puts them to fixing all of the problems in the world, basically. However, there was an event coming called the Annihilation Wave, where...
That doesn't sound good.
It's not great. It's not great.
Yeah.
Where, very cool villain, I'll cover him eventually, but he's really hard. Annihilus in the negative zone. He started out as like this single cell thing, and then he just makes like this big cadre of villains who keep wiping out everything that they come across. So they're about to breach
like
into our reality.
Having just heard of him,
Yeah.
it sounds like a very different version of Galactus, but the same idea.
It's essentially
they show up,
Galactus,
they eat your planet.
Pretty much.
Okay, cool.
In order to close the portal to the negative zone, the Human Torch sacrificed himself. Very cool scene where Johnny Storm, he does a big flame on, and he has a line, 1,000,000,000 to 1, that's fine. I'll take it.
It's just classic Johnny. You gotta love it.
Just the coolest dude in the world. Human Torch sacrificed himself. This caused a lot of anger in Valeria, who began coming up with her own plans to kill Annihilus. But she realised, Reed Richards isn't going to let me kill Annihilus. So she chooses to move to Latveria and live with Dr. Doom for a while.
You're not my real dad, but you let me do things. So I'm going to go stay with you.
100%. But also, it's not like she wants his help. She plans to turn Doom into a force for good.
She wants him to not be the stepdad, but the dad who stepped up.
The dad who stepped up. She's like, I can change him for what?
I can fix him about Doom.
So, with all of this trust she now had for her father, because she's like, you let Johnny just kill himself. She was like, okay, Doom is my one hope. Susan Storm then comes and attempts to take her by force from Doom, and this is what convinces Valeria, is like, okay, my family needs me. So she's not cold logic like Reed or Doom. She's still an 8-year-old.
Simultaneously, though, she does seem like she's better than both of them.
Yeah, like she has the potential to be smarter and better adjusted than
And you know what? That makes her that's such an interesting character trait, because it's Reed's child. Doom wants to adopt her. Like, Doom loves her, but she's better than both of them, so she's going to outgrow their weird fucking squabble that they've had for their whole lives.
She can look past all the bullshit, and she's just like, no, this is what's best for everyone. So when then an event called Secret Wars happens in 2015, and the multiverse was coming to an end, Valeria helped her father to create a life raft to ensure the survival of humanity after the final incursion, when two universes collide together. As the final incursion between Earth 616, which is the main Marvel universe, and Earth 1610, which was the original Ultimate Universe, takes place, Reed gathers every person he can onto the life raft, including members of the Future Foundation and the rest of his family. When the vessel approached the central point of the incursion, it suffers a hull breach, which leads to the deaths of Reed's family, including Valeria.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And then, that's where we're leaving that.
Oh.
Because then Secret Wars happens.
Oh, very good. It's a setup. He's after leaving us on a cliffhanger.
I'm cliffhanging. I'm post-creditsing you.
This is the most work you've ever done.
I'm setting it up, man. And then I will cover, in the coming weeks, Secret Wars. I don't know how many parts that's going to be, but we're going to cover Secret Wars, because I think it's important to do. So we're just going to have
Secret Wars, and then my report on DC, and then Secret Wars.
Yes, pretty much.
So you got to wait 2 weeks in between each part.
Yeah, but in between, you can be listening to all of the great shows we put out. You can be rating 5 stars. Of course,
Sean. Of course.
And if you need more content, there's a Patreon, guys.
There's hundreds of hours over there if you want to head on. So we set that up. But I mean, Sean, I think she's such a cool character. Just she's better than everybody else in the family. Which is so interesting because, like, you have a child that just is better.
Yeah, I like a character who, in a world of, like, gods and superheroes, is just smart. You know?
Yeah,
like, her smartness is, like, it's because of cosmic and radiation and stuff like that.
It's comics.
Still smart.
Yeah, and like, if she's as smart as Reed Richards, who's the smartest man on the planet, but she has, like, emotional intelligence, then you're kind of more, like, you're smarter then, really.
Yeah.
More intelligence.
Yeah, because you know how to actually interact with people as well.
And then get more stuff done.
Yeah. So that's
so good.
She's a very cool character and very recent as well.
I can see why Dude wants to hang out with her. He wants to adopt her.
Because it winds her dad up, you know?
Yeah, it's a kind of, I bet it started out as a wind up, and then halfway through he was like, you know what, she's no crack, like.
It's like Joel from The Last of Us, like, it's found father kind of thing.
Yeah. And he's just like the reluctant dad, but now he loves her too much. He's like, oh fuck, she reminds me of my long lost love. Oh man, I just want to protect her.
So and she's only been around since about 2002. So okay. She's, you know, in terms of comics, a relatively recent addition, but I think works so well in the Fantastic Four family. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Okay, I mean, like, Shaun, I love that report. Love Eye of the Fantastic Four. But if you want to listen to any of our other shows, we've covered every other character in Secret Wars officially as of now.
All the main ones, anyway.
And I mean, if you can think of a character, go back to our back catalogue. There's hundreds of Hero Zeros covering everybody. And if you're interested in DC characters, you can check out all them. But yeah, we've covered lots of people. We did a Q&A on Monday. If you missed that, that's like a very special Monday episode where we just answered everybody's questions. Maybe a bit of insight into what the show, how the show gets made, behind the scenes stuff.
We predicted our own deaths. It's going to be wild.
Our personal opinion on movies, comic book stuff. It covers a whole gambit of things, so if you're interested you can go listen to that.
Gambit? He's a hero.
So if you want to support the show, as I said, you can give us a 5-star thing on Spotify, but just most importantly, just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
So I've been Conor Lorraine.
I've been Shaun Meighan.
And we shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.